effective. Hi, everybody. Dan Williams here from Straightline Real Estate Coaching. Wanted to come to you today. We're doing a bit of a webinar. I want to go over some tactics that we've got for real estate sales for you guys. I just want to give you a bit of a background on me. From Nottingham, England. I've got over 20 years sales experience working with retail, consumer, business to business, a number of different areas in there, from car sales to business development, packaging sales, debt recovery, project management, a whole number of jobs in there. And my journey took me from England to South and Central America, most recently in Costa Rica, and right now I'm in Mexico. I am a real estate agent and a real estate agent sales coach. With my real estate business, we made over $45 million in closed sales in the last few years, over 120 transactions. So we have a pretty good idea of what we're doing, okay? Now, one of the things that I'm going to talk to you about today, we're going to go straight into, is going to be the sales process. We're going to do a sales process overview. I want to run through really quickly with you guys about the sales process. So how I do it, we've got 8 steps. Okay, number 1 is your meet and greet. Okay, so the number one part of the meet and greet is that you have 7 seconds in which to make your first impression. So that buyer has decided within the first 7 seconds if they like you, if they like your office, if they've made a decision on what you're wearing today, on how you do your hair, the car that you drive. So you got 7 seconds to make an impression, okay? So if you're on the phone, stand up, smile. It's not so much what you say, it's how you say it, okay? So you can get the clients excited. Walk around your office or your home office, or walk down the street, wherever you are. If you're on the phone, stand up, smile, deep breaths, and engage in that conversation. If it is a personal meeting and you're face to face with your client, look them in the eye, shake their hand. You want to put out positive body language. You don't want to come across as a cocky, arrogant know-it-all. You do not want to come across as somebody who doesn't know what they're doing. So you really want to try and get that balance, okay? The second part of the sales process, and anybody who's watched any of my videos prior knows that I am absolutely over the moon with qualification. It is, for me, the biggest area of the sales process. A lot of people like to not skip qualification perhaps, but certainly brush over it and move to the more exciting, juicy part, which is the closing and the showings and the negotiations. In my opinion, if you're not doing the qualification correctly, you will not have as much success in those other areas. You're showing clients homes that are not suitable. You are trying to close clients on a property that they're never going to buy, because you didn't ask the right questions at the start of the process. So when you're getting to the objection handling part, really what you want to be doing is using the qualification questions that you've asked and the information that you've ascertained, and reverse that on your client. Why would you like to make an offer on this property? I don't know if I will, Dan. It isn't quite right for me. No. This is the perfect property for you, because here's 10 questions that I asked you, and this is the property that ticks all of those boxes. So qualifying is, in my opinion, the most important part of the process. I like to ask my clients a few different things. One of them is the most important thing. What is the most important thing about your purchase? Now, this is going to give you an idea of where the client is coming from, and it'll also help you build a little bit more rapport with that client. It's also going to help you come back with the most important thing when you're closing on a particular property that has the most important thing. The next step is going to be a presentation. I like to take my time with this. Some agents are very much on the opposite side of the spectrum here. It's, let's jump in the car, let's go and see this wonderful home. Great. Is that client buying that home? Probably not, because you haven't spent enough time qualifying and you didn't do a presentation test. What I mean by a presentation test is, after qualifying a client, I will go back to my database, will provide a group of listings that I feel are suitable, and I'll send them to the client. We'll jump on a Zoom call, we'll go through them together, the husband and wife on the other end of the Zoom call. few different reasons to segue into this, why this is important, is it builds relevance, it builds confidence in you, and it helps you build and continue your relationship. So we're going through the listings with the client. I may have got it completely wrong, and that's okay, because at this stage, what you're trying to do is you're trying to really understand exactly what it is that the client wants to buy. So with the presentation, the trial presentation especially, or the test presentation, it is going to enable you to check, are you on the right track with this particular client before you do a full scrape from the MLS. If you don't have an MLS, before you talk to 100 different realtors about what's hot at the moment for a 2-bed house between 400 to 500 grand on a 1,000 square meter or quarter-acre lot, for example. Once we've done our test presentation, I like to requalify my clients. And if you nailed it the first time, which does happen, fantastic. You can skip this step. But if not, back to basics. We showed you some homes. You didn't particularly love them. Why didn't you love them? Why weren't you enthused about the homes that I sent across? Let's find out why. We're going to ask you more questions about what didn't you like about that particular home? What would that home have needed to have in order for you to make an offer on it? Why would you not consider that property in and amongst your shortlist, etc.? So the next part of the process is going to be the soft trial and close. And this is a part I like to do in conjunction with the test presentation. We show 4 or 5 properties, and the answer, the question that's coming from that is, which of the properties in a blue sky world could you see yourself making an offer on? Now, what you're doing is you're here, it's quite a sneaky tactic, because we're testing the client's real stage in the process. You know, there's the old adage, all buyers are liars. I don't think all of them are. A lot of them do tell a little porky pie once in a while. So I think it is important here to establish, where are we on the buying process? So, Mr. Client, I have sent across to you 4 fantastic properties. We went through them together. You love them for X, Y, and Z reasons. Which of these properties could you see yourself making an offer on? The client is going to come back to you and tell you 1, 2, 3, or 4, or none. Or I'm not ready to make an offer yet. So what we're doing again is we're saving a little bit of our time. We've still not yet shown a property to this client. We've now understood and qualified him. We've built some rapport with him. We've done a test presentation with him. We've requalified him if we didn't quite get it right the first time. And now we're going for our soft trial close to really find out, is this a buyer? Hopefully it is. And the buyer will come back and say, number 2 property is what I would love to see, Dan. That's the kind of property that we're in the market to buy right now. So from there, we go forward to the showings and the presentations. It's very, very important with the showing and presentations to be using the FAB style. And the FAB is features and benefits. It has a large kitchen. That is a feature. What is the benefit to a large kitchen? The benefit of a large kitchen is when you have your friends over for a poker night, you can have plenty of room to have a private chef at the back. There is a double garage. The benefit of the double garage is room for all of your toys, somewhere to put the mother-in-law, boys' room, girls' room, double garage, so that in the benefits of those things. So for example, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, this house is perfect for you because it has a double garage. The benefit of the double garage is that when you both separately go to work in the morning and it's raining or cold, you won't have to go outside and get wet. Very, very straightforward. So you don't just focus on the features. A feature without a benefit is effectively useless. So really push those features and benefits and make sure that you're tying those in. Reuse your qualifying questions as well. Oh, Mr. Smith, remember when you said if there was a little bit of a woodland view, that would be a really, really high up on the list of things that you wanted? Wonderful. Here it is. It's right there. Isn't that important to you? The most important thing. The most important thing is, for me, what's going to differentiate each client from the norm, if you like. Everybody's looking for a house, typically in a residential area or in an ROI secondary market. But the most important thing is what's going to stand out to that particular client. So if you can present that with a feature and a benefit on the showing, of the house that is effectively perfect for that particular client because you've qualified them properly. We did a trial presentation. We re-qualified that client. We did a soft trial close, and here we are now on our showing and presentation. So we're coming into the juicy end of the sales process. The juicy end of the sales process looks like object handling. So now we are going to handle their objections. And a lot of these objections, it's going to be too expensive. The time isn't right. It's not quite the perfect home for us, etc., etc., etc. Come back to that with your qualifying questions and throw in there the cost of inaction. This is the right home for you. If you're renting, how much money are you going to lose in rent before making this purchase and then saving a little bit of money on your monthly payments? The qualifying questions here are absolutely paramount. And this is why I like to put so much time and effort into it, because you've asked when is the right time to buy. You've asked how much money they want to spend. You've asked what type of product they want to have. You've asked the most important thing in the purchase of the home. And you're going to reuse all of this to handle every single objection that they have. Now we're going to move towards your closing. And I think something that a lot of agents don't do often enough, in my opinion, which is ask for business. And what do I mean by that? So closing, the art of closing can be done many different ways, and everybody has their own style. I personally like to go with an ABC style, which is a always be closing. So that's right from the word, right from the first word. You look at the sales funnel as a corridor, tons of doors on the left and the right, and the one at the bottom has got a dollar sign on it, and that's the sale. That's completing the sale. So you're closing, and what I mean by ABC, always be closing, is as you're leading your client down the corridor, you're closing off doors left and right and left and right and left and right until you get to the end of that corridor, and the only option available for your client is to open the sale door, sign the contract, and live happily ever after. I think asking for business is really important as well, and how you do it, I feel, is equally of importance. Using open questions is a really, really, really good way of trying to close and ask for business. One of the ones I gave you guys earlier, which of the properties do you feel is the one you're most likely to make an offer on? I can't say no to that. Instead of, would you like to make an offer on a house? No, thanks for your time, Dan. Cheers. We don't want that. That's absolutely the worst position we can find ourselves in as sales agents. So which of the properties do you think you would like to make an offer on? What else would you like to do or see before making an offer on that property? When do you feel making an offer on this property is going to line up with your buying timeline? Any of these who, what, when, why questions, the W's, those are your open questions, and those are the ones that we're using to close our clients. Okay, so that is an overview of the sales process. Now, I want to move a little bit more into client sourcing. This is one of the most popular topics that we've been asked to cover on this call. So client sourcing. Everybody wants more clients. Okay, where are we getting more clients from? So number one, I think, is to utilize the power of social media. And whether you love social media or you hate social media, it is a powerful tool that unfortunately we're just not getting away from. So the more you buck social media, the more damage it's going to do to your business, quite frankly. Even coming from myself, doing the videos, doing the YouTube channel, doing the Facebook lives is so important. Let's talk a little bit about YouTube. Let's talk about YouTube first of all. I think a YouTube channel for you as a realtor is huge. Depending on whether you're a secondary market ROI or whether you're a primary residential market, whether you're a commercial agent, whether you only work in lots, whatever your niche is, or area of focus is probably a better word. Whatever your area of focus is, get on YouTube. Make videos that are relevant. Give relevance to your clients. in addition to relevance, what you're actually doing is, unbeknown to yourself at this point, is you're building trust within the marketplace. I am looking to buy a home in Austin, Texas. Okay. So I'm online. I'm looking at there's 100,000,000 realtors in Austin, Texas. Okay. There's the great ones. There's a bunch of average ones. There's going to be a couple of really awful ones, and that's okay. How do I find the best one? Where do I find relevance? So I will look on YouTube and I would follow and I would watch videos from real estate agents, not just showing homes. Don't just show a home. I think it's very important that you do your walkthrough videos of the property, etc. But I think it's really, really important that you show who you are. Do a video, 2-minute video in your favorite coffee shop. Here is where I come to get a drink after work. Here is where I buy my grass-fed 10 out of 10 ribeye steaks that are blow your mind. Whatever it is that you're into, here is where I go for my hikes. Here is where I fish. Here is where I hang out with the boys and watch football on a Sunday. Whatever it is in your area that you're doing, document it. Put it onto YouTube and really get relevant information in front of your clients. What you'll be doing is you'll be building trust, you're building relevance, you're also building confidence in yourself by being in front of the camera, so that the next time you do a showing, you've seen the property already, you know where you're going with this, and you're putting it out on YouTube to be sourced. I did an interview recently with a broker who accidentally found his niche, actually. He went from being a NCO Peace Corps volunteer to a sales agent to owning his own brokerage and comfortably crushing 10 million a year in sales for probably the last 5-6 years. And one of the things that we spoke about is how he built, how he hates YouTube and social media, firstly, and secondly, how he built his YouTube channel. And his YouTube channel flew and absolutely took off. So his YouTube channel pulls in more inquiries than the entire brokerage that he now owns and works with. Just to give you some idea, and the videos that he's putting out, it is exactly what I mentioned. It's relevance. It's interviews with past clients. It's interviews with future clients. Talk to a builder. Sit down with an architect, with a lawyer. Talk about something that's trending. Trending is really easy nowadays. You can go onto Google, trends in real estate. It's going to give you 101 different options and topics to talk about. Find one that resonates with you and that you feel that you have a genuine interest in. Make a small 5-minute video on your phone. Get it out there. Get it out there. We also really like Facebook Lives. I wasn't aware until recently that Facebook Lives are 3 times more watched than a typical video. So a really good way of doing that is doing a Facebook Live on your real estate page and ensuring that you share that. Facebook is a little bit old school, and I think a lot of the younger crew these days, I think it's just a place for the boomers to hang out and share their avatars. But I really like it. I think you can get into groups within your area and your niche. So groups within your area and your niche is going to look like a real estate group in, let's go with Austin, Texas, because that's where we're at. Be in the group. Find a group that's something you're interested in, whether it's fishing, shooting, drinking beers, watching football, hiking, being ultra healthy, marathon man. Whatever your area of interest is, get in that group. Share it, comment, build some relevance. Hey guys, I made a video here that you could find useful. Feel free to check it out. Start to chip away at becoming a little bit of an authority of real estate in that non-real estate group. And what you'll find happening is you'll find people will start referring and gravitating towards you as a real estate authority in that area. Building your niche is so important in client sourcing. The whole point of a niche, there are a million real estate agents out there. How to differentiate yourself is offering relevance and picking a particular area or part of the market that you feel you're going to excel in. And I think pushing and concentrating on that is really important. Networking is also extremely important in real estate. You never know where your next deal is going to come from. I personally like to go to a lot of open houses. I meet a lot of realtors. Build your realtor network that, within the group. Be extra nice to your inspectors, to the lawyers, to your title guys, to escrow agents, anybody who you feel is in a position to throw a referral out there. Try and set up a robust referral system. Use your contacts. Use your barber. Who's your gardener? Do you have a pool guy? You work with contractors, builders. There's many, many different ways to get these referrals. And what I think you'll find is once you've paid a couple of these guys a referral fee, it doesn't have to be a straight 25%. It could be a little bit of something here and there. It could be the security guard at a HOA complex. Once you've paid that guy a little bit and he gets a taste for the cash, you're going to find that revenue stream is fantastic. You will see these referrals coming again and again and again. And what do we love about referral business? Very easy, very profitable. The client trusts you already. Doesn't matter what you say, they're probably going to buy a house from you so long as you stick to the process that we talked about earlier. Qualify, trial, close. Get in there and get your referral network up and running, guys. Another cheeky way to pick up a few sellers can be through new projects. If there's a new construction new construction down the road, go and visit the guy. Talk to the construction guys. See who's building it. Is this a property? Are they building it to sell? Are they building it to live in it? Are they building it to rent it? The more people like this that you talk to within your community, the more likely you are to pick up new listings. I think also reviews and testimonials are really, really, really important in the client sourcing. Testimonials are huge. Testimonial is basically saying it's somebody who has no interest or no particular interest in seeing you succeed. Say that guy did a great job for me, and I feel he's going to do a great job for you as well. How many times have you got to buy something on Amazon or on the internet, or you're calling a plumber, you're looking at Yelp, we're looking at the reviews. We want to see what are people saying about this particular professional in his industry. So I think it's absolutely paramount to get as many testimonials as you can, and don't be scared to put those out. Ask for a video testimonial from your best clients. You'll find those will come back and come back and come back, and eventually you'll find yourself with all of your testimonials putting into a referral system. So that testimonial becomes a referral system to send clients to you, and that way you get to keep the client and maximize your profitability. The next thing that I wanted to talk to you about is systems and automation. We spoke a little bit about YouTube, Facebook, and the modern way of selling within social media. And I don't think you can have that conversation without talking about artificial intelligence or AI. AI is changing the game. And if you're not on board with it, you are 100% going to get left behind. So I think utilizing ChatGPT for your scripts, your sales scripts. What I love about ChatGPT is that you can tweak it to your style. You may have not noticed I'm British. I have a pretty weak British accent right now, but I am from Nottingham, England. So my style is going to be very different to the seller from Texas, to the seller from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, to the seller from Melbourne, Australia. So different language, different voice is what you need. So you need to tune your AI a little bit. You can't just plumb in, fancy house, big garden, lake view. You really want to add it in there. So the more information that you put into ChatGPT, the more accurate it's going to, a more accurate description you're going to get. So you can use that for your scripts. You can use that for your property descriptions. You can use it for just about anything, actually. Opening questions. You could use it. You could ask ChatGPT, please provide me with 5 questions to ask in a Facebook phishing group, with the idea being a hook to get people into paying me to be their realtor. Boom. It's going to come with 5 questions. Put those in your fishing Facebook groups. Put those in your skiing group. Put those in your marathon man group. Whatever it is that's your niche, use ChatGPT for that. I think the software technology has advanced a lot as well. A particular piece of software that I couldn't live without right now is Mixmax. Mixmax in my email inbox is my savior. I use Mixmax for a ton of different things, but I think the most important three features that Mixmax has is email tracking. So new client comes in, I send the email out. I know if they've read it or not. I know when they've read it. I know how many times they read it. I know how quick, how many clicks we can get on the links that I sent through. So all of this data is really, really, really important. Probably the most important feature that I love about Mixmax is a reminder. So you send an email to a client, you put a reminder for 2 days to send them another email, and you put another reminder to send another email. You can also do sequences as well. Sequences, which can be incorporated with AI, are fantastic. Your initial reach out, secondary reach out, the third reach out, the fourth reach out. Client hasn't responded, goes to group B. Now they're on a 90-day reminder newsletter situation, or client did respond. That then comes over to here, and you can have that trigger another sequence of qualification, of appointment setting, depending on what that client is on the buying process. But email software, templates, sequences, and reminders are going to make you more organized. They're going to free up your time, and it's going to make you more profitable. Those are three things that I think every realtor under the sun would love a little bit more of. Calendar links as well. Calendar links can be really helpful, especially if you're in an area where you're dealing with a number of different time zones. When working in Costa Rica, we'd have clients from Texas, New York, LA, Washington, up to the northern, Wisconsin, Mississippi, all over the show. Okay, as well as outside of Europe, as well as in South and Central America. The calendar link is fantastic. I love the calendar link for a couple of different reasons. Number one is it covers all the time zones. Number two, I haven't got to go through my calendar and say, okay, I'm available between 2 and 3 here and 4 and 5 there. And on Wednesday next week between 11 and 12, all automatic, completely automatic. It goes straight into your calendar. Yeah, you get an email notification about it, and you're also recording and capturing that client's data, name and email address. And you can fire that out as a different link. There's Calendly. Google is doing it as well. I think that's a really another important way of saving more money, saving time, and earning a little bit more money. Knowing your numbers is so important as well for the systems and automation. There's so many different numbers within sales. And I don't just mean how much money are you making and how much money are you spending. You should absolutely have track of both of those. But if you don't, start there. What are we making? What are we spending? Where can we make a little bit of a saving on there? But also the numbers as in how many sales calls are you doing a week? How many emails are you sending per day? How many showings are you doing? How many new clients do you get per week? These are really key numbers. And then from there, we can go even deeper into the numbers and say, okay, so how many clients do I get to do a showing? How many showings do I get to do a close? How many closings do I do to have to hit my goals? Now, that's a really important way of creating a little bit more motivation as well for yourself. It can be really difficult, particularly in a current market where things are a little bit slow. It can be really difficult to stay motivated when you know there aren't that many buyers out there. But there are still some buyers out there, and there are still some sellers out there, and the top 5% of realtors are still making money. Why are you not making money? Why are you not selling? Why are you not listing? It could be a number of different reasons. Absolutely, we can get into those as well. But I think the important part for me is the knowing your data, and really knowing your numbers and finding out where is my next deal coming from. And the final thing that I want to talk about in systems and automation is going to be scaling. There's going to come a point in your real estate career where there just are not enough hours in the day, and that's great news. Because when you're at that stage, you're now in the room to scale and start making real money. So there are a couple of different stages to this. I think adding an assistant or a VA, depending on your budget, location, and desires. VAs can be extra helpful. They can be in your phone. They can be responding to emails through your pre-approved ChatGPT sales scripts. They can be uploading listings to the websites through your pre-approved ChatGPT descriptions. They can be handling outbound calls. They can be handling researching what you're going to do on your next YouTube social hack video. They can be your voice in the Facebook groups while you're out showing properties to clients or negotiating a big deal. You've got your VA or assistant getting in there, doing the groundwork for you and sowing those seeds, which you're going to reap in the coming months and years. I personally prefer a physical assistant. Because the next stage in scaling is going from a VA or assistant, and you're going to want a showing assistant now, so a showing agent. That showing agent is effectively going to be helping you out, showing your properties, enabling you to be in two places at one time, and effectively earning two lots of sales commissions in the same period of time. I prefer a physical assistant because you can train your assistant to how you like to run your business, your personal style. And as we touched on it, it's about you. It's what you're into. Try and find somebody in your team who carries a little bit of that, or at least has similar interests and similar outgoings, activities, etc. The part about going to a showing assistant or showing agent, I like, because then you've got the continuity and your showing agent knows your business from step one all the way through to now showing agent. The importance of a showing agent, as we mentioned, is that you can be in two places at one time. You can show multiple properties at once and then effectively close more deals. The next step up after that is you move your showing agent or assistant into a junior agent. And now you go from boss to coach mentor. You get a split of the pie, and you're building a team now. So now you've gone from just, Dan one-man band to Dan with a VA or an assistant, to Dan with a VA and a showing assistant, to Dan with a junior agent, a VA and a showing assistant. And then I'm in a position where I'm actually able to take a step back a little bit, pick up some of the clients that I like to work with the most, work on the listings that I like to work on the most, and delegate a little bit more. And now you're in the difference from being a one-man band real estate agent. Now you have a real estate business, and now your time and money, you have more time back. You're going to be earning more money, and you're going to be in a position to grow and scale and replicate. So by the time you've gone from one VA to one showing agent's assistant to one junior agent, the more people you can put underneath yourself in that platform and that pyramid is only going to provide you with more success. So guys, I really hope this was useful for you today. I'd love to hear any questions that you may have for me on the sales process, on client sourcing, and on systems and automation. But that's all we have for today. Thank you ever so much. Dan Williams here, Straightline Real Estate Coaching, and I'll see you on the next video. Ciao, guys. Have a great day.